What's going on, my business associates? You're tuned in to another episode of Whiskey Business. My name is Jesse, and if you're new here, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. If you do want to enjoy this video, or just enjoy quality sipping spirits in general, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It's free, and it really helps the channel to grow. In today's video, we're going to be kicking off a new series, which is our blind pool reviews, inspired by a lot of other whiskey tubers out there. I've got a blind sample pool of a mix of bourbons, scotches, and Canadians here, so I'm going to be adding more into the future. I've got it all logged in a spreadsheet, and we're going to go over my thoughts on each head-to-head. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, pour a dram, and let's get into some whiskey business. We've got 13 head-to-heads here, so we're going to generate a random number. We've got 2. So 1, 2. So we're going to pull these out. We're going to put all these back, get these poured, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We've got our drams poured, and we're going to jump right into this. This is double blind, so I pretty much poured these about a month ago, dispersed them, logged them into a spreadsheet, completely blacked out the spreadsheet, so it's pretty much double blind right now because I've forgotten all of my matchups, but yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. I've paired all these head-to-heads up based on a few different things: allocated versus available, price point low versus high, as well as things like my personal preferences, thinking I like one thing more than the other, maybe biased because I came up drinking it a little bit more, or based on the price. So I want this to be completely blind, and yeah, that's why I've done it, and I'm very excited to see what the standings are between some of these. Yeah, let's just get right into it. Enough random rambling, so let's go A, shall we? Alright, right off the bat, we're starting with a peated matchup from my... I don't think I would put a peated against a non-peated, but you never know. So this is super peat forward, a little bit of fruitiness, maybe some pineapple in there, fresh pineapple juice, some salty breeze. There's like a tropical floral kind of note in there mixed with the peat. It's a very approachable peat, not super up in your nose, not super campfire-esque, just a really approachable sea breeze peat, if that makes sense. Leading me to believe this is probably an Islay Scotch. Overall, very nice nose. Okay, get into B. Okay. A lot more tame and subtle, but also a lot more floral and almost like a fruit tray, or fruit salad. It's just like a congregation of all these nice tropical bright fruits that are maybe a little bit watered down. You get some peat smoke in there in the distance, but it's not super upfront like this one was. There's a little bit of an iodine note, not as much as this one. Faint bit of like caramel. Overall, it's really tame compared to A. Going back into A. Oh yeah, you're just hit with peat and oak. That nice pineapple juice, like pineapple juice soaked into like an oak barrel. Oh. A little bit of like eucalyptus or mint, some sage, like a herbal note now. All right, I've got my nose readings. Let's get into the palate, starting with A. Lots of peat, lots of char, a sweetness on top of that char. I would say it's still a fruity sweetness, not precisely pineapple on the palate, but there's definitely a fruity sweetness, tropicalness, a little bit of heat. You you get that proof for sure. I would say it's not a low proof. But yeah, lots of nice char and peat on the palate. That saltiness and iodine comes in. There's a little bit of bitter oak tannins in there, but overall it's pretty well rounded. Very nice, and the smoke is like a campfire smoke. Not in that barbecue, not in that creosote. It's just campfire smoke. Very nice, very nice. Let's go to be on the palate. Cheers. Okay, so this comes across a lot more juicy. Just like I said on the nose, the peat is there, but it's like really in the background. The foreground is all fruit, sweetness, and that subtle iodine, salty air breeze. There's like a weird. This one had a medicinal note in the way of eucalyptus mint type thing. This one has a medical note as, I want to call it sterile stainless steel. Like if you've ever walked into the dentist and everything's just been sterilized, they got the metal tray with all the tools. It's that like sterile metallic-y note on the nose. The peat on this one is a lot more ashy, and the fruit is super tame. It's kind of just sweetness, and you can tell it is a fruity sweetness. It is juicy, but like I said, it is watered down fruit. Like if you've ever had those bites of cantaloupe or honeydew melon that are just super watery, that's what I'm getting in that. I think it's lower proof as well. Okay, jumping into the finish. The finish on this, you're left with that charred oak, peat. Sweetness is kind of gone. You got some saltiness in there. Just a really nice peat. I really like that. I'd say it's like medium length. I don't typically get long finishes on a Scotch. You get a little bit of warming in here from that charred oak, but nothing to write home about. Nothing compared to like a bourbon. The finish on this is it's just super watery, and it's very short. It's salt water is really it. Salt water that you can smell a little bit of like ash in the air, like someone just put out a cigar. And you're sitting on the beach, but the person smoking the cigar is probably like 100 feet away. Like you just get a slight waft of it, and the sweetness doesn't fall through into the finish at all. Very short finish, not super good. Okay, now we're gonna go over mouthfeel. So, mouthfeel on A is oily, thick, almost like they harvested the oil from the charred oak and peat, like they distilled. They somehow did some distillation process and captured the oils of the charring of the oak, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but it's oily. Smoked oil is how I want to put it. It's really good. I love smoked foods. I love smoked things, so it's right up my alley. I'm getting a little bit of like a hickory almost. Maybe it's just like a little bit of my mind like correlating hickory and smoked barbecue sauces with sweetness and stuff. I'm not sure, but it is a really good mouthfeel. Coats the mouth, gets you salivating because of the sweetness and the saltiness. And that char is you'd think it would be really drying just because it's like it tastes super charred, but it's not. It may be a little bit drying, but I guess the mouth-watering effect kind of tampers that down. So the mouthfeel is pretty good on that. I do like it. Mouthfeel on B, it's very thin, watery, but it is juicy, so it does kind of make you salivate, but it doesn't really have you wanting another sip, if that makes sense. But it's good. It is what it is. It's very lackluster compared to Class A, though. So the overall experience, I'm going to say this one's very light, bright, easy sipping. Maybe you've never had a peated whiskey before. I think this is a good, approachable peated whiskey because you get some juiciness, some fruit in there. It's not super high proof, but you get the essence of the smoke and stuff, so you get to kind of see what it's like. Poke around, see if you're liking that smoke. If you don't, you're probably not going to want to upgrade to something like this, where this is just like super smoky, peaty, earthy, but also charry. So If this dram was a Pokemon, this would be Charizard for sure. This thing is just charred peat. Like, I really like this, and that essence of pineapple really goes along with it. I don't know if you've ever barbecued, and I've marinated steaks in pineapple juice. There's a whole thing about the way the one of the components in the pineapple juice breaks down the actual meat proteins and makes it super tender. Anyways, it's super good, and I tend to grill the pineapple on top of the grill with it, and you know, I love that combo, that sweet smoky, just specifically pineapple and smoke. Very good. So this is totally up my alley. The overall experience for me on that's a really nice pour. I would be totally happy with that any day of the week. This one, you know, if someone gave it to me, I would probably drink it, but I'm definitely not gonna re-up on that one. It is very approachable though. That's all I can say. Okay, so the way I did my scale was so the first rating category consists of nose, palate, finish, mouthfeel, and overall experience. Each one of those are worth up to 17 points, bringing us to a total of 85 for the first category. Now the second category is based off of would I buy it again, the MSRP, and the availability. Each one of those are worth up to 5 points each, bringing us to a total of 15 for the second category. Overall, bringing us to a score out of 100. I'll throw it all up on the screen if that was a little bit too confusing. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but here it is right here. So, the A gets a 15 on the nose, very nice, very enjoyable. 15 on the palate as well. I really did enjoy it. Finish gets an 11. It was decently long, had some good flavor, and made me want some more. Mouthfeel gets a 12. It was oily, it was mouth-watering, it was coating, everything I want in a Scotch. The overall experience gets a 15. I really did enjoy it, and I could totally see myself sipping this on an occasion, or, you know, this is just a really good dram. So 15 overall experience. That brings Glass A to a total of 53 in the first category. Glass B, nose gets a 7. It's tame compared to this one, but it is nice. Palate gets a 7 as well. It's not super complex. There's not very much depth. It is juicy, but I would prefer a little bit more peat if this is an Islay. The finish gets a 3. It was very, very short, lackluster, no Kentucky hug, nothing like that. Mouthfeel gets a 4. It was pretty thin, pretty oily, not something I want to be sipping on an occasion. Overall experience is going to get a 3. Like I said, I'd drink it if someone poured it for me, just out of respect, but I'm not going to reach for another one. That brings Glass B to a total of 24 out of 85 in the first category. Now onto the second category. Would I buy it again? Glass A, out of 5. Would I buy it again? 5 out of 5 for sure. I would buy it again. I really do like it. It offers everything I'm looking for in a peated Scotch for sure, and I really like that extra charred note as well as the pineapple paired with that. Would I buy this again? No, I wouldn't buy it again. I don't think it would stand up to a cocktail. It's pretty watery. Overall, it doesn't really offer much, but the fact that it could be a super approachable peated Scotch for a beginner. What would I pay for these? I'd pay $120 for this. I would say it's up in the low age Lagavulin type category. What would I pay for this? $40. I'd pay $40. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna buy it again, but I think it's worth $40 if you're getting into peated Scotches for sure. So let's go over what these actually cost. So Glass A, $105.95. Okay, cheaper than I thought. And Glass B, $31.95. Also cheaper than I would have paid. So I'm going to give MSRP on both of those a 4. I think they are both worth their price tags for sure. Actually worth a little bit more in my opinion. So that is quite the difference. That's about $74 difference. Just quick math. Probably wrong about that, but overall, is this worth the step up, I would say yes. I mean, if you're a super occasional drinker, you know, you're not someone that's going to be drinking a few glasses a night, I'd go for this. You know, if you're drinking a few glasses a night, you know, maybe you want something a little bit more budget. But I mean, the quality just, it's good for what it is, don't get me wrong, but it's not A. So the last category is availability. So now we have to check what these two drams are. Starting with Glass A. Glass A is Laphroaig Quarter Cask. I'm pretty sure Laphroaig Quarter Cask just got a bump up to price at the LCBO, which is unfortunate, but hey, I still said it punched above and was worth more than the MSRP at the time of logging these, so it should still be worth it. Laphroaig Quarter Cask at the LCBO is very available. Definitely you can find it on shelves, you can order it online. So availability, it's going to get a 5 for me, out of 5 for sure. Glass B. What are we drinking in Glass B? Islay Mist 8-year. Wow, this is so this is one of the budget versus expensive, obviously. This is an Islay Showdown, and this was one of the Islas that got me started on Islay. Now this is a blended Islay. Compared to this, it's very lackluster, but on its own, it is totally enjoyable. Like I said, it's not this, but based on the price difference, I would say, you know, it's decent. I said I would pay $40 for it. It's $31.95. So take that with some Islay salt. That was terrible. But availability on Islay Mist 8, it's very readily available, I would say. I think I found it on a store shelf, but it's available online as well for sure. So that's going to get a 5 as well. So Glass A, rating section 2, is going to get a 14 out of 15. That is great. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say anymore. It punches above. I would buy it again, and it's super readily available. If you haven't tried Laphroaig Quarter Cask, definitely go out there and pick it up if you're into Islays. I think it's a very, very good dram. Glass B is going to get a 10 out of 15. It's good, it's budget, it's approachable. That's all I can say about that. Like I said, I wouldn't buy it again personally. I'm more into quality sipping nowadays rather than quantity sipping, if that makes sense. But I think there's a place for it in everyone's whiskey collection. So overall score out of 100, Glass A is sitting at 67. That's, I mean, pretty good, you know. It's above the middle of the bell curve, if that makes sense. I try to go for sort of a bell curve rating system because I really do enjoy that type of system. I think it's very fair and allows for lesser quality bourbons to shine, or lesser quality whiskeys to shine through. Glass B is going to get a 34 out of 100. Not very good, not going to lie. But it is what it is. Comparing this to this, I mean, there's a big price difference there. So it's bound to happen, I would say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys like Islay Mist 8? Have you guys tried Laphroaig Quarter Cask? I know pretty much everyone who drinks Islay has tried Laphroaig Quarter Cask, but what is your favorite Laphroaig? I would love to know. As more and more come out, I'm looking for more options to dip my toes into the Laphroaig scotches. But yeah, if you guys do like Islay Mist, what do you sip it neat? Do you mix it in a cocktail? Let me know. I don't make too many cocktails, but based on the mouthfeel and the overall flavors and the pungentness, I would think it doesn't hold up well to a cocktail, but what do I know? I don't make cocktails. Anyways, that's going to do for the first ever head-to-head blind. I really hope you enjoyed. This has been super fun. I'm glad it went this way. My wallet is justified for spending the extra bit on the Laphroaig. so that's always a plus. But let me know if you guys have any head-to-heads down below. I would love to hear them. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see more. This has been Whiskey Business, guys, and I'm out. Cheers.